Hello everyone and welcome to my first video in the little flip teaching thing that we're going to start trying. So this video is one that we're actually going to watch in class, and we are going to take notes on it together so I can show you how to actually do the whole flip teaching thing. And so we're going to do this together, and I'm going to show you guys how to effectively use these videos, okay? So we're going to start all the way back with the election of 1860 and kind of explain that in a little bit more detail, and then we're going to move on from there. So in April of 1860, the United States had a very important decision to make. Who would be the nominees for the upcoming presidential election? So these decisions at the time were made at conventions for individual parties. Today, it's more like we get to vote on the exact candidate that we want to be running in that party. So for the National Democratic Party, the convention for the 1860 presidential race would actually be held in Charleston, South Carolina. Well, the Northern and Southern Democrats could not agree on a candidate at this convention because even though they were both part of the same party, they had different views on slavery. So the Northern Democrats are going to nominate Stephen A. Douglas of Illinois, which is the guy from the Kansas-Nebraska Act who wanted the states to be able to vote on whether or not they were going to have slavery. And then he was unhappy when Kansas decided to take advantage of this and actually became a slave state. Southern Democrats are going to nominate John C. Breckinridge from Kentucky. Even though the Republican Party is really new, Republicans realize that this is their chance to possibly win the presidency. Because the Democratic Party's votes would be split between two separate candidates, neither candidate could, in theory, get enough votes to win over the Republican Party. All right, so now the Republicans have to pick their nominee. So they don't want a candidate who is very vocal about ending slavery. They want a candidate who's a bit more moderate, which means that they're kind of closer to the middle on certain issues so that they can maybe get the votes of people who are on the fence. So ultimately, they're going to pick Abraham Lincoln, who is going to match the Republican Party's position on slavery, which is to stop it from spreading to the Western territories. So they're not vocal about ending slavery, but they're just worried about not expanding it for now. As the 1860 presidential race began, the candidates began campaigning, which is advertising themselves to the public. Abraham Lincoln only campaigned in the northern states, and Breckinridge only campaigned in the southern states. Douglas was actually the only person who attempted to campaign in both the north and the south. Lincoln wins all of the northern states, which gives him enough votes in the Electoral College to ultimately win the presidency, which angers white South Carolinians and enables fire eaters to officially take control of the state as they take advantage of the anger of the rest of South Carolina. And this is when the secession process officially begins. The secession convention will begin in Columbia, but it is eventually going to have to be moved to Charleston because there will be a smallpox outbreak in the capital, and there's going to be even more secessionists in Charleston. So on December 20th of 1861, the delegates voting on whether or not we're going to secede unanimously vote for secession. In this ordinance of secession, South Carolina claims that the federal government is infringing on states' rights to make their own decisions about slavery, and therefore the only solution is to leave the Union officially.